Today's topic is one of my absolute favorite discussions to have with Chris. I'll start by asking you to think about a phase in your consulting business that Chris calls ignorance on fire. You start out full of energy and determination, but you are lacking focus. You're working hard, you're relying on brute force to grow, but eventually you hit a plateau. You enter what we call the valley of death. Hard work alone is no longer enough. You're stuck in a place where analysis paralysis, self doubt, and exhaustion take over, and your growth slows to an agonizing incremental crawl. So let's talk about the solution to that. It clearly isn't about working harder, it's about a complete paradigm shift. So let's dig a little deeper into that. Chris and I are both fans of the author Price Pritchett. He wrote about a concept called the quantum leap strategy. A quantum leap is a sudden and dramatic change. It's bypassing incremental steps to achieve exponential results by making bold shifts in your strategy and mindset. Here are the components of the quantum leap strategy. Component number one is defining your aiming point. You cannot make a leap if you don't know where you're landing. For a consulting leader, your aiming point usually comes down to three pillars: freedom, impact, and income. Freedom to choose your clients and your time, impact to solve meaningful problems, and income to live your desired lifestyle. You need absolute clarity on what this looks like for you. You know, I've known Chris for over 8 years now, and one of the things I have always admired is his focus. Early on, I remember Chris telling me about his morning routine. He'd review his aiming point, spend a few minutes on constructive questions around that aiming point, and head into his day. We'll talk about this routine or ritual a little more in component three. But he still does it to this day, and I know it has greatly impacted the success of niche consulting growth. Because these days, Chris's calendar is very full in a good way. The company is actually now scaling to more consultants than he can serve directly, and so I've stepped in to help lead this expansion. So I want to quickly mention the roundtable. This is where consultants come to sharpen your positioning, refine your offers, and build the kind of opportunity flow that doesn't depend on luck. It's a small working group of peers that I lead, with Chris joining in regularly for the harder positioning and offer challenges through what we call founder sessions. Members also get full access to Boutique OS, which is our proprietary tool set. If you'd like to know more, check the notes and find out how. Again, this growth is directly related to the quantum leap strategy Chris has applied. Let's move on to the next component of this strategy. Component two, breaking through your limiting beliefs. Look, we all have paradigms. We all have stories that we tell ourselves based on past experiences. It's normal, it's human. For Chris, it was a childhood memory of a pushy vacuum salesman that made him deeply believe selling was manipulative. He'll tell you, and he talks about it in his first book, It's Time to Sell, that limiting belief kept him trapped for years. You have to identify the stories that are holding you back, challenge the evidence, and consciously replace them with empowering beliefs. You have to shift your identity. Component number three, the quantum leap ritual. This is a daily practice to keep you aligned with your vision, one that Chris and I both practice. It consists of visualization, affirmation, an action plan, and reflection. Every morning, you vividly imagine your ideal business. Picture yourself guiding your ideal clients. Repeat statements that reinforce your new identity. Then pick one or two high impact actions that you can take today. Now, why does this ritual work? Because of component number four, engaging your reticular activating system, or RAS. Your RAS is a network in your brainstem that filters information. When you visualize your goals and affirm your identity daily, you're literally programming your brain's filter. You suddenly start noticing the right opportunities, the right connections, and the right ideas that were always there, but previously went unnoticed. Side note here. If you've ever seen the selective attention test video on YouTube, it involves a circle of people passing a basketball around. It's probably 15 years old by now. You know exactly what I'm talking about. It's a great example and proof of how this works. Activating this filter creates a powerful pull force for your business. All right, let's wrap this up so that you can get on with your day. Remember that the quantum leap strategy isn't wishing for success. It's about proactively defining your vision so clearly that it pulls you forward. It's about aligning your daily actions with your ultimate goals for freedom, impact, and income. When you do this, you stop reacting to the demands of the moment. You get out of that valley of death and you start pulling the right clients naturally toward you. All right, till next time.